You know, I'm not gonna be able to hold her on my lap forever when I'm doing this because she's gonna start like grabbing things and like putting it in her mouth. I'll be like, no baby, no. Hey guys, it's Amber. So today I'm here with little miss. She's awake, so she's going to be joining me for this video. And I'm going to be breaking this up into two parts. This is going to be my 2016 year-end favorites. I'm going to do affordable / drugstore today, and then I'm going to be doing my high-end, more expensive products in my next video. So I say drugstore / affordable because I'm going to be including things from Shop Miss A, from other online companies, things that you don't necessarily buy from a drugstore, but are still considered to be affordable brands and affordable options. So just so you know going in, that way if you're just looking for affordable options, you can watch this video. If you're someone who likes more high-end stuff, then you can watch my next one, or you can be like me and just totally love both. Alrighty, I don't even know where to begin. I feel like there are so many good drugstore affordable discoveries I made in 2016. It's kind of overwhelming. My pile for drugstore is much bigger than my high-end pile because I bought so many more things that are drugstore just because I felt like I could get more bang for my buck. And I feel like makeup companies have stepped up their game. Like, they have done so much better than they were 10 years ago when everything in the drugstore was just kind of dry and patchy and chalky. Like, I found some really good things that definitely are like right up there with my high-end, and some of them are actually better. So I'm going to start at the very beginning as much as I can and go through from foundation and then go through face products and then to eye product. So some of these products I discovered in 2016, some of these products I already had but I just used a lot in 2016, and some of them are things that I recently purchased that I just really love and probably use mostly in the month of December. So one of those things would have been the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation. This is in the shade Porcelain. I got this in December and started using it, and I use this for the entire rest of the month. I'm testing out some other options right now, but I'm still really loving this foundation. It reminds me a lot of the NARS Sheer Glow as far as having a nice natural finish, but it is not dewy and it isn't completely matte. It just looks nice. It looks flawless. I wouldn't necessarily recommend this for someone who has a lot of acne to cover because it's not like a full coverage foundation. Also, I don't know that it'd be great for people with really oily skin, but for me, having dry skin, rosacea, and a little bit of acne, it did enough coverage and I feel like I got a good result out of it. The next foundation is also from e.l.f. This is the Acne Fighting Foundation. This has salicylic acid in it, so it's supposed to help combat acne as well as give you good coverage. This is a fuller coverage foundation. It's much fuller in my opinion than the Flawless Finish, and again, I really like this. I feel like it had a good look to it and I used it quite a bit. Next is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte. I have not tried the Total Coverage or the Glow, but I really like this. This is a demi matte finish foundation. I'm sure you guys have seen a lot on this. I think I actually have a separate review on this, but that was one that I reached for a ton. Another favorite would have been the NARS Sheer Glow. I used that all up in my project pan, and so I don't have it anymore, but that is one that I use a lot this year as well. All right, moving on to concealer. I didn't feel like I had like one standout concealer that I loved more than anything else. One that I did use a lot was the NYX HD concealer. This is a good one for this time of year because it's more light. This is in the shade Fair, so when I've got my winter color, this is a good match for me. I felt like this gave me good coverage and it didn't cake up under my eyes, and I really liked it. Next, I'm going to be moving into contouring / bronzing. I use so much this Wet n Wild Color Icon contouring palette. This is in Caramel Toffee. I have used this so much. I know I've featured it in favorites over and over again. It's super affordable, and if you're just starting out, I highly recommend it. I also, which I cannot find at the moment, I think I took it somewhere to do someone's makeup and I don't know what happened to it, but my e.l.f. contour kit, also use that a ton. And a newer discovery, I found this in about the middle of the year, was this Clean Color Bronzer from Shop Miss A. This is the Tanned Roar Matte Bronzer. I tell you, for $1, this is awesome. It's $1. It's not too warm. If you're making a Shop Miss A purchase, you need to try this out. It is so good. I also recently picked up this Aqua Beauty e.l.f. Blush and Bronzer. This is in Bronzed Pink Beige. I really liked this a lot. I felt like they lasted a long time and it was fun to play around with the cream colors. I did prefer this formula a little more to the powder formula, but that was just me. But it was a fairly new product, I think, from e.l.f. and I really enjoyed it. All right, moving on to highlighters. I use this ColourPop highlighter in Monster quite a bit. It's kind of a holographic one. I find it's fun in the winter because it kind of gives you an icy look to your skin. Also, not quite as iridescent, but also still affordable is this Essence So Glow. This is in Bright Up Your Life. And this one, did I mention this is in Monster? This one's in Monster. These look really similar, but the Monster actually has more of a reflect to the pink, where this just has a little bit of the pink shift in it, but I like them both, especially for a cream highlight. I used my e.l.f. Ambient palette quite a bit for those days when I just wanted a barely there highlight that wasn't too strong. I mostly just use these two colors on the side right here, but I tend to just kind of wipe my brush around in all of it and then apply it to the face, under the eyes for one of those more natural highlight days. Also, I will use the Color Icon bronzer in Reserve Your Cabana. I bought this because I heard so many people raving about it, and it is worth the hype. Some people, this doesn't agree with their skin texture or the coloring, but for me, especially if I just use it up here, it works really well. And they give you a heck of a lot of product in this pan, can I just say? One that I feel like no one ever talks about, and I have talked about over and over again, is this Ulta Illuminating Powder in Yellow Diamond. I don't know why people don't talk about this. To me, it's so underrated. But it is gorgeous. If you have fair skin and you struggle with having a highlight pop, this is so beautiful. It pops on fair skin. It is gorgeous. It does have that golden undertone to it, and I just really like it. Next, this is a newer purchase, but as soon as I put this on my face, I totally fell in love with it. This is the HD Highlighting Powder in Starlit Glow from e.l.f. In the swatch, it doesn't look like super crazy impressive, but I don't know, when you put it on the face, it just does something magical. I have an e.l.f. like Get Ready With Me where I use a bunch of e.l.f. products, and I'm using this product. So if you want to see it in action, you can check out that video. Moving on to blush, I felt like I favored high-end blushes a little bit more this year, but I still have a few from the drugstore that I can share. First off is this Essence Blush Up. This is so pretty. This is in Pinky Flow. Woo! It is pigmented, but it's not like you can't work with it. You do have to sheer it out a little bit. If you don't like bubblegum pink colors, then you won't like it. It's definitely for someone who likes a little bit bolder blush than your average Joe. So I can't argue with this for the price. It's like $4 or something. They also make this in a peach version, so if you're someone who likes a little bit more natural color, you could also go with that as well, but I highly recommend it. Also, if you're looking to get the most bang for your buck, they do have these Malibu Glitz blushes on Shop Miss A. This one does have a little bit of shimmer to it, but they also have some that are matte, and this one, honestly, it reminds me of like those peachy goldy blushes like NARS and some of those more high-end brands that have that little bit of golden glimmer in it, and that's totally what this reminds me of. This is in number 4. Next, if you would like an affordable blush palette, I ordered this off citycolor.com. This is their Intense Blush Palette in Collection 1. I have a whole video, again, reviewing all these City Color products, and I swatch all of this, but this is a great thing for someone who wants just to get a bunch of different colors and you don't know what to pick, or you don't want to spend a lot of money. It's just fun, especially if you're starting to do makeup on other people, to have a palette instead of having a bunch of singles that you can just go. And this, they do have one that has a little bit more peachy natural shades. This one I went for more of the daring shades because that's just how I roll. But pretty pigmented, some are matte, some have a little bit of shimmer. None of them are super glittery or anything over the top, so I definitely recommend that. All right, moving on to eyeshadow palettes. So again, I tend to favor high-end eyeshadow palettes. It's just kind of like my thing. I love my high-end eyeshadows, but I did have a couple that I wanted to mention. First off were these Wet n Wild Au Naturel palettes. I mean, for $5, you honestly just can't argue with these. Is the quality going to be as good as Urban Decay? Probably not. But I do have a video comparing this to the Naked One palette if you guys are interested. But honestly, it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but for $5, it is a great little palette, definitely for someone starting out. And I have a lot of makeup and I still find myself reaching for this and using it. I just don't think you can go wrong. I tried out a couple of makeup palettes from Makeup Revolution this year, but my favorite one was this. This is the Redemption eyeshadow palette in Romantic Smoke. I love this because it had all those like buttery, taupey, purpley burgundy tones, and it is honestly great for winter. I need to pull this back out again and start using this because it is gorgeous and super unique and just very pigmented. And the last eyeshadow palette I'm going to mention is from City Color. This is the Intense Shine palette. This is for foiled shadows. Now, these do crease if you use them all over the lid into the crease. But if you just use these as a pop in the inner corner, just on the lid by itself, under the lash line, they are so awesome. They are very kind of wet, moist. Ugh, everyone hates that word. They're wet and creamy shadows. And I actually was wearing this silver one and the white and the black on my eyes on the video where I said this is the last day of Vlogmas. Some of you guys were asking about that. These are actually the colors I was wearing, just this. I was testing out some eye primers, so I wanted to go with something I knew would crease a little more, but I still really like these. I feel like they're unique, and for the price, to get this kind of like high intensity, you usually have to pay a lot more. Moving into singles, I got these Clean Color American Icon shadows. This is from Shop Massé. These are wet, dry, bake shadows. This is in the color Khaki. I also got a pink one. These are really pigmented, especially for $1. I mean, honestly, this is a great shadow for one of those one shadow looks. It's something that you really can like put in the crease and on the lid, and because of the way the light hits it, it'll look completely different, which is awesome. Next, I've talked about these recently, so I won't go on too much. These are the Essence the Velvets. I did a get ready with me with all Essence products, and I use these, and they are very creamy. And seriously, we're beating out some of my high-end matte shadows for how velvety they are. So definitely recommend looking into these. My Wet n Wild Creme Brulee, I finally got on the train, and I have been using it nonstop ever since. I feel like ColourPop eyeshadows have kind of taken a step back this year for whatever reason. People haven't been talking about them as much. But this is one that I've hit pan on. This is Fringe, and this is one that I've used over and over again. Gorgeous lid color, super metallic, gorgeous in the inner corners, and overall, I just still really like my ColourPop. All right, for eyeliner and brow products, I just have a couple things. One is the Essence Gel Liner. I used this earlier in the year, and I ran out of it, and I repurchased it, so this is a brand new one. But I really like this, and you can't beat the price, and it's waterproof. I just got this eyebrow pencil from e.l.f. in taupe, and I'm really liking it so far. So much more affordable than the L'Oreal Brow Stylist, and I feel like it's just as good. It's not as narrow, but I still really like it, and I like the color. You guys know that I'm obsessed with my e.l.f. Mineral Eyeshadow Primer. I actually put this to test against the Pro. I'm going to do a review of a bunch of e.l.f. stuff, and I'll let you know how that went. And for mascaras, in the beginning of the year, I was using a ton of the CoverGirl Supersizer. Once I discovered the Lash Princess from Essence, I haven't been using that one. I've been using this one. So those would have been my most favorite mascaras for the year. All right, for lip products, I ordered a bunch from Shop Massé that I really liked. I liked the Santee Liquid Mattes, not all the shades, but a lot of the shades. Some of them were a little patchy, but this one I like. This is like a Barbie Pink in 01. I also liked this Amuse Long Lasting Lip color. I wore this in a couple of videos, and every time you guys would say, what color is that? And this is then the one that's like Kiss and Don't Tell, but it's a great everyday color. And then these metallics, I also wore these in a few videos, and you guys said you liked them. This is in 1663. All of these are $1. Next, I really like this liquid lipstick from Essence. This is not like that where it dries down. It's like a thicker lipstick that's creamy. It is not a matte. It's shiny, but really like this. This is in the color, I think it's called Color Party. Yeah, Color Party. And my NYX Butter Gloss, this is in Eclair. I actually included this in a giveaway this year because it was one of my most favorite lip glosses. The e.l.f. matte lip colors, I love these. This is in the shade Natural. This is one that I've used over and over and over again. I love this shade. And I could not get enough of my ColourPop Lippy Sticks this year. I think I use these so much, especially the first half of the year, all the time. I could not stop using these. They were in my favorites. They were in my everyday makeup drawers. This is in the shade Wifey, and this is one of my favorite shades, and I'm sure you guys have seen this color, but I cannot wait for spring to come so I can start wearing this again because it's amazing. And last but not least, a new discovery was this e.l.f. lip color. I could not have gotten through all those lip swatches on Shop Massé without this. This stuff was a lifesaver. So if you guys have liquid lipsticks that are hard to get off, Highly, highly, highly recommend this. All right, guys, those are all my favorites for 2016 from the drugstore and from other affordable shopping places. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye. Say hi. Can you give smiles? Can you give smiles? So how cute you are. You're so cute. Hi.